Okay, well, hopefully I'll try to make this video not too long, but this is the State of the Company's 2012. I was hoping to get this done, boy, a couple days ago, and I honestly just have not had time to do it. I'm trying to go through a list of, I don't know, I've got like 5 things on this list that I need to get done before the end of the year, and the end of the year is, oh, let's see, not too far from now. Let's put it that way. So, without further ado, State of the Company's 2012. This year the video might be a little bit shorter than normal. I plan to roughly recap the things that have happened this year and go over the goals that I've set for 2013. In previous years, I've gone through all the staff changes, and it has come to the point in time in business I really just can't do that anymore. Point and take, I just found out that one of the housekeepers at Brook Point has left, and apparently left 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know it, and Bill, I was talking to Bill today at lunch, and he's like, I didn't even know we hired a new housekeeper. And it's just amazing how staff changes have it changes a lot, and there's a lot of people that come and go and come and go, especially in the hotel business. But anyway, there's just far too many staff changes for me to go through them all in this video, and honestly, that could be the entire video for this year, explaining all the different people that have gone and come, and it's been really exciting, definitely. I thought I'd highlight all the big projects we did this year instead, rather than going by company. I thought I'd kind of just go give you a highlight of what we did each month. In January, we embarked on a monumental task of not only learning the hotel business, but also repairing things that were in much needed repair at Brook Point. These repairs were extremely expensive and not even close to budget. Not even close. The more I think about it, sometimes the more that I get more and more frustrated about all the things that we've had to fix and still are fixing a year from now, or a year later. These repairs were very expensive, like I said before. We discovered how dead the hotel was in the winter and how few calls we actually captured because our rates were too high. It got to the point where I think at one point in time in January or February, I think that we went 9 days with absolutely no one. But yet the phones were ringing 4 to 7, 8, sometimes 10 times. People calling in about asking rates, and I discovered that our rates were just too high. Unfortunately, it took me 4 months to figure out that our rates were too high in the wintertime. I'm kind of frustrated at myself that I waited till April before calling all the other hotels in the area to find out what they charge, but I kind of just took the previous owner's word about it, and that was definitely not a very good business decision. I've learned that business owners don't necessarily purposely lie. The previous ones that I'm buying things from, they don't purposely lie. They're just used to things how they've always been, and they've just never really thought of things differently. So I need to be a lot more proactive on how I approach new businesses and things like that. It's kind of like I've also made a decision that any new business that I purchase, part of their prerequisite is going to be they're going to move into my billing system before I buy them. And if they don't want to do that, I don't want their business. I just honestly, I can't afford it. And it takes me probably 6 months to convert their business into my business. Well, if I can be using their payroll dollars versus my payroll dollars, it just runs a little bit further. And if we back away from the deal and we say, you know what, this business, we're not going to buy the business, we'll let them keep the billing software for free. It's just not worth it for me to charge them if whatever. So one of those things. In January, we decided to add more can lights. We added 6 can lights around the fireplace and the walls just to illuminate a little bit because so many people complained that it was so dark. I was one of those people, and but I had numerous guests complain about how dark it was in there, and so we changed that right away. We built a wall to hide printers, fax machines, and other office-related equipment. We added computer systems to the front. They were running everything off of a typewriter and pen and paper. That had to change, obviously. We trimmed a lot of the trees so people could actually see the hotel. I can't tell you how many people actually came and told me that they didn't even know there was a building back there until after we trimmed the trees so that actually people could see the hotel. In January, we also completed 706 North Huntington. We completed the basement about a year prior to that, and we were remodeling. I went way over budget on trying to get that, so I was just kind of waiting before we added the top and get that remodeled. We did. Nonetheless, we got Brandy Matey toddler shop in there, And this building, over the course of 3 years, has went through major transformations. I really encourage you to take a look at some of the YouTube videos on 706 just to see how many changes it's done. February, the dreaded month of my life for some reason. I have no idea why. It just always seems that February is just never a great month. Nonetheless, it's just one of those things. We installed a bunch of the new appliances at Brook Point, as several died, including the pool boiler. The most impressive thing that we did is we built a 20-foot by 20-foot sign on the grounds of Brook Point. We did that entirely ourselves. It was just very impressive. We decided in January that we needed a way to tell people that drove by Brook Point, and we'd just see cars going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And as many hours that Eric and I spent there in January, we were like, man, we've got to figure out a way to tell these people what's going on here. And we have so many things that we want to tell them, and no way to do it. They're not our Facebook friends. We have no signs. We have no real billboards to say. It's amazing how, I don't honestly know how they ran a business there for so many years, but they did. So we solved a lot of misconceptions about the place. A lot of people didn't even know that we were there. We got permission to build the sign, and we built it entirely ourselves. March, we saw a lot of changes for Benson. We changed the front customer office with a bigger countertop, and we organized the room so the office did not feel like we were out of business. Earlier in 2011, we moved the computer repair to the tech center, and it made the front office really, really dead. It just didn't look like anything was going on there anymore. And honestly, we just didn't have time to fix it. So it just stayed there. So the decision was to revamp that office, and we put a bigger countertop in there and things like that. April, Benson launched its new product, iDisplay TV, which is digital signage. As we envision the computer repair business disappearing someday, we wanted to have a product that we could sell on a monthly basis that provides recurring income. This allows me to diversify the income from the tech field, in which a lot of my products, I think, will soon disappear, as they're just not going to be sellable. There's things like Skype, for example, that's free. Well, why are you going to pay me something, or to be able to communicate with somebody, when you can go to Skype and do it for free, or you go to Google Voice and do it for free? It's just one of those things that business is really changing a lot. And so I want to make sure that I'm very well diversified, so that does not happen. May, I moved my office, this office here. This is actually, believe it or not, the office that I was in before, when I first moved into this building, and this would have been in 2005. It's now, we remodeled this, painted this, put new flooring in. We did it all in one day. Very exciting that we did that, but nonetheless. We did that because we decided to make another apartment at Wawasee Plaza to help diversify my income. It is really frustrating to spend about $200,000 on remodeling the downstairs into office and commercial space, and now instead of being able to make money off of that, I've got offices just sitting there. I mean, in my phone, where that 800 number advertisements goes, nobody ever calls it for office space. No one, ever. I call myself lots of times just to see if the phone number works. It's rather frustrating, to say the least, about how that commercial property space has just kind of just disappeared. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to start up a business in this economy. Everybody is scared to death of it. I honestly don't think that's going to change for the next at least 10 years. Call me a pessimist, whatever. I have to be able to make sure that my staff has a job to come to. And I think that you as staff members would recognize that and appreciate that. And just thinking that I am thinking about the future and making sure that we still have income and we're diversified enough to make that happen. But it's frustrating. Instead of being able to, pay off my debt, I'm having to go into more debt to remodel more places just to be able to make my mortgage payment. It's extremely frustrating. But it is good to know that I'm diversifying this property and making it more sellable. However, it costs me a lot, and I really don't get that income back for a while. It just takes a long time. I mean, the average apartment that I've been building here lately, it's cost between $15,000 and $20,000 to build the apartment. That's a lot of payback. Even if $500 a month, that's a 3-year payback just to get that money back. And it's just to keep my income level for Wawasee Plaza at exactly 2008, where I was before. Very frustrating. So nonetheless, I moved my office here, and we began remodeling the building or the apartment for Charles. We enlarged the billboard on 6 and 13, and we put big hotel signage on that billboard. Very nicely done. In June, we completed the apartment for Charles, and he moved in. We won't talk about when he moved out because, you know, Charles is, yeah, nonetheless. We also completed guest directories for the hotel. The previous owners took all the guest directories. They couldn't find them after they took them, and then they believed that they accidentally threw them away, so we had to start from scratch on creating our own, which was okay. We really made some nice books like that. July was a super busy month, like always. However, I have to say it was amazing. As you know, we had an Elkhart County Fair booth for approximately 8 years. Previously, we've always had U4 introducing products at the fair. It was too confusing, and we never sold anything. Why I waited as long as I did to change it, I don't know. I should have listened sooner and changed products faster, at least the company that I was selling. It's a very true statement in the fact that the right name for a product will sell itself. And sure enough, we told people at the fair about the Brook Point Inn Couples Romance Getaway. It sold itself. We didn't have to explain anything. People were just flocking up there. We had lines of people signing up for the free giveaways. And I can't tell you how much revenue we actually got from that product, but I guarantee you we at least made probably close to $40, if not $50,000 off of that product this year. I expect that next year we will probably give more giveaways, and people will already have come up and taken a look at that. They already know about the product. The name recognition alone is huge. So we'll also probably give away a lot of 50% offs and things like that. We've gained a lot of Facebook friends and also learned a lot about the right product, how it sells itself. September, we decided to get rid of the U4 store in moves to slowly get rid of the U4 name. This has changed to the Benson Communications store. We're moving all customer service to this store, which is right above the tech center, which is a lot more helpful for Benson, and it gives Benson a lot more visible location. We've begun monitoring VoIP and wireless customers remotely, and now able to see when customers are down and are able to be a lot more proactive in customer service. October, I purchased Indiana Telephone Network, which is a very similar business to U4, but it has a better name. One of the reasons I decided to purchase ITM was because of the name and the lesson I learned at the Elkhart County Fair from this year. Indiana Telephone Network says what they do. There's no confusion there. I will talk a little bit more about this in the goals down below here, but October 1st, Brandy Maney, that was in 706, she moved out, left us with about $2,000 in remodeling expenses that we've got to redo because of the damage, and about $30,000 in unpaid lease. Frustrating. Decided in November to install more lights at Brook Point in November. Have you discovered a theme yet? We've been constantly adding more and more lights at Brook Point to brighten it up. And I honestly believe that we will double, if not triple, the amount of lights that we have on the property in the next year or two. We've opened a new Benson Communications store in Fort Wayne after spending about 2 solid weeks remodeling office space where Indiana Telephone Network once sat. We're very hopeful to start selling our products, Benson products, along with satellite TV and iDisplay. Business is taking off very slowly, and we are slowly waiting on walk-ins. We will reevaluate the advertising at the end of January just to see what's working, what's not, things like that. December, we rolled out a couple of new things, but the biggest thing that we were working on is terms of services and new sign-up paperwork for ITN. Our terms of services will be at the same terms of services for all William James Morris companies, and the products will be listed with each business rule that is associated with each product. There won't be any confusion, different things. All of our terms and services will point to one exact place. It's going to be very, very helpful, let's put it that way. The IT department has been working steadily on combining all of our mail servers, so we're not duplicating anything. Many companies are doing the same thing, so it's pointless to duplicate time and hardware between the companies. In December, we also started migrating to a new time clock system called shiftplanning.com. This will help us keep track of vacation time, requests, notices, and hours better for all companies and all locations. It streamlines a lot of things. A lot of requests are just there. Plus, we're building a lot of employee history rather than having folders storing action notices all over everywhere. It's going to save a lot of time. December, Grandma moved out to Wawasee Plaza with no notice. We're unsure of why she left, and now we're going to be stuck with finding a new tenant again. KC Online was very close to our goal of 100 new customers by the end of the year, but it appears we'll be a little shy from making that goal. This month, we aggressively began converting our DSL customers, which I should have been a lot stronger on pushing the fact that we should have been converting those things a year ago. But nonetheless, we've been very aggressively moving those customers. They seem to be very happy, and we're increasing our gross profit margin by doing that and keeping our customers happy. This migration has worked very well for KC Online, minus the fact of having less than a 25% installation rate for our customers that want our service. We'll begin working on changing that with one of our goals in 2013. So that is just a touch of what we've done this year. Now on to goals. I know we're at 15-minute videos so far, but bear with me a couple more minutes here. I've established high goals in the previous years that just simply couldn't be met because these goals would be put on paper and nothing else happened. I was basically the only one looking at them and getting frustrated with myself. There were no measurables or direct staff assignments. As I grew as a leader, I'm starting to see that more clearly what works and what doesn't work. These goals I listed are in no particular order, and I will become extremely high on the priority list, and will become extremely high on people's priorities list to make this happen. Number one, I want to pay off one of my properties in 2013. The first property I plan on paying off is 706 North Huntington. I want to get away from having a mortgage payment on at least one of my properties. Number two, the KC Online U4 name will change to Indiana Telephone Network. So all three companies are going to combine. We're going to have one call queue, one customer service place, one place for billing, one place. It's all going to be streamlined into one simple thing, and we're going to be using Freeside to do that. This will allow us to group as many different business rules, phone numbers, billing systems down to one. My goal is to start on this process we've been starting on it now, but really heavily starting on this process in June and completing everything by the end of the year, if not sooner. It will take a lot of work from many of you, but in the end, everything will run a lot smoother, and we will purchase. And that is why one of the companies I purchased was Indiana Telephone Network, to be able to have that name, to be able to consolidate things like Ligonier Telephone Company. Prime example. Benson will not be moving into that name. Number three, we will add 2 apartments to Wawasee Plaza, helping to replace income from commercial office space where commercial market has just dried up. This helps make sure that we can pay off the mortgage payment. Number 4, Brookpoint needs to hit 40% occupancy for 2013. We're trending at 27% this year, and that is not bad considering in 2011 they were only at 18%. All our online advertising will really help with this. We got to really increase our search engine optimization for the webpage to be able to make sure that when the new hotel opens back up for Oakwood, when they're searching for things like that, that we show up as number 1, always. Number 5, we're going to deploy a new wireless technology what we have currently right now. We're only able to turn up 25% of the customers that want us, and we will actively work on a solution sometime midsummer. I'm not exactly sure what technology we're going to go with, but I know what we have now is not working, and we're going to go back to the drawing board and find something that does. Number 6, we're going to add 150 new wireless customers for 2013. Number 7, purchase 1 new property with at least 2 uses. 2, not 1. Number 8, add 10 new wireless Benson iDisplay hosts. Number 9, get Wawasee Plaza 4 new tenants, including new apartments. We're going to aggressively begin working on this goal in January, finding new tenants. I've got some leads in my sales lead folder here, but we just really need to aggressively start getting some more tenants. Number 10, we're going to get 1 unit remodeled at 111 Park Avenue, so we at least have 1 apartment that's there. Number 11, we're going to sell 100 virtual PBX units for ITN. Number 12, we're going to create a William James Morris incentive payout system for all employees. And that basically is a system where we will take the profit that we make from the companies, and then we will establish a certain parameters that we have to have this many signups, this many this, this many this, this many this. And what happens is when we hit all of those goals, then every employee of William James Morris will get a bonus check every month. So it's going to be really exciting to actually complete that. We've been working on that since, August 6th or 7th, but we're just not ready yet to launch anything like that, just because we're trying to build all those spreadsheets and stuff like that to be able to calculate those kind of things. Speaking of William James Morris, as you know, all employees for William James Morris are going to be paid under a new company, and that's who you're actually going to get paychecks from rather than all these individual little companies. It's just going to save a lot of time, a lot of headache for my accounting people, and you're going to know that all employees, you get paid from William James Morris. So it's not just, well, I only work for Benson, or I only work for KC Online, or I only... that stuff is going to slowly start disappearing because it's all William James Morris stuff. Number 13, we're going to get our remote data backup system completely implemented and selling that unit, so we're not reselling somebody else's service throughout the year. So that is my update for the year. 2011, I had approximately 18,630 real emails, and 2012 has surpassed that with a total of 23,638 emails in my inbox. And if anybody wants to take over my inbox, I'll gladly let them. So it's definitely been a busy year for sure, and I definitely want to say thank you very much for giving me the wonderful memories and the place to come to work every day. Thank you very much.